Yo, yo, yo.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am lovely. It is snowy and beautiful outside. And that's right, I'm talking about the weather, Adam Wathen.
Yeah. I saw that tweet and I was like, uh-oh, we're in the crosshairs now.
No, actually, he and I chatted offline, as they say. And he was like, no, it's not you. I'm subtweeting someone else.
Yeah, I saw he had posted something to that effect in the public thread because multiple people brought up us.
That's the thing about subtweets is everyone thinks it's about them.
Yep.
Dangerous. Speaking of tweets, my enterprise tweet thing is still going a little crazy.
Man.
It's at 750K now impressions.
Dang. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really struck a nerve there.
Yeah, it was funny. A friend of mine messaged me and said, I have a Twitter account and I don't follow you and I don't follow business people typically, but I just saw your tweet and liked it before I even realized it was you. That's how good at Twitter you are. I was like,
nice. Yeah, owning that algorithm.
It's quite an echo chamber. Mm-hmm. If you get the right thing, it bounces around for a while.
It does.
So also, I wanted to call out in the opposite sense, call out in a good way, an experience I had yesterday, which is with YNAB. Do you know this company?
I do, yeah. Actually, I'm a user, yeah.
Nice, yeah. So I'm a customer, and it stands for You Need a Budget. It's budgeting software, and I've been using it for a while now, and I like it quite a bit. But I had this like tricky problem, and the root of it. So they do this like auto import of your spending. And there was this thing where like I have two Chase credit cards, like a Chase Sapphire Preferred and a Chase Sapphire Reserve, and I can't cancel the older one because of credit score shenanigans.
Never close a credit card account.
It's my oldest card, so like I don't want to close it, but it has worse benefits than the new card, and like God, kill me. But anyway, so the payments when they hit my bank account just say like Chase Auto Pay. And they don't say which card it's going to. And so YNAB was getting confused about like, did you pay this credit card? Did you pay this credit card?
Yep.
And it was actually kind of like a tricky, subtle problem. And like, it's easier to describe it to you like this, but like trying to actually write it out, I was like, wow, this is like hard to explain what's going on. And like the symptoms were kind of weird and confusing. And so I sent them an email and was kind of like, just had my doubts about it actually getting resolved. And it was just kind of like, I'm probably just screaming into the void here. And the response I got, like they clearly immediately understood what was wrong and like were very helpful and very clear and like told me how to fix it.
Wow. That's amazing.
And I was just like, oh, this is so nice to actually get good support on something.
Yeah. Was it a technical support person or just seemed to be like an ordinary
Just a normal support person.
Wow.
And I have to say, this is consistent with everything I've seen from them. Like, so I think it's Jesse Meacham, I think is their founder. And he has said before that like he considers YNAB an education company that happens to also make software.
Yeah.
And just like their online, like their docs and their webinars and their videos and all this stuff, it's just like all like very clearly has so much effort put into it. And just like seeing it carried through to the support level was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that we are all providing, and we're in SaaS, you're providing that final S stands for service, right?
You heard it here first.
And so, but so many of us forget that. We think we're building, we're building software and want to, not spend a lot of time on the service component.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and also a thing I've just seen a lot, and I think it's hard to avoid is as you get larger and have more customers, are like having support kind of go downhill.
Yeah.
When you move past that like sort of early like developers or founders doing support and into like someone who's like only doing support, like it often really goes off track, I think. Even companies that you would expect to do it really well, I've had some pretty bad experiences with.
Yeah. I mean, it just speaks to scaling is hard in general and getting n number of people on the same page at the same level that maybe you could achieve with one. I mean, for the longest time, we didn't scale our support at Drip. We had Andy, and Andy was like resident expert and was very efficient, took us a long way just handling basically all the support. But, of course, that doesn't scale. Like eventually you have to start adding more. But yeah,
I remember talking to Andy, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
OG back in the day.
Yeah.
I was reading about Ahrefs the other day and about how they're like efficient. Like they're doing something like $1 million per employee or something close to that in ARR. But they are thinking about like excluding support from that calculation basically because like their goal is basically to be 50 people total ever. Like that's their cap. Except they're thinking about excluding support because you kind of have to scale that linearly with customers, it seems like. Even if you are really good at getting like a lot of customers per support person by being very efficient with docs and, usability and whatnot, you're still going to have it probably grow linearly with some multiple.
Yeah, there's a core equation there of like a certain percentage of customers will be emailing into support and it takes this long to answer them. And if you can process this many tickets per day, there's an equation there of how many people you need, right?
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I'm inspired by this idea. We've been talking about this internally about like how much revenue can you do per person? We've been throwing around some things like, I wonder if we could get to this, like X, with just the three of us before we hired somebody. I'm not sure if we can, but it might be possible. We've thrown out some high numbers and like some ambitious things, and I'm curious if we could pull it off.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting metric for sure.
And I think it makes sense to think about it too, because like you're adding a lot of complexity by adding people. So to not think about the efficiency at the same time feels pretty foolish. It's like, yes, you could definitely do more, but also you're introducing permanent overhead as well. So, pay attention to both sides of that equation. In other news, have you ever used Anki?
No, I don't think so.
So it's a spaced repetition tool.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
For basically learning, like installing facts in your brain. So I sing in this chorus and it has a bunch of people in it. And I was like, I'm just sick of not knowing everyone's names. And there's this CMS basically of like all the chorus members with photos. And I hired someone to make me 175 Anki flashcards with photos and names.
Nice.
To just install the names in my brain because I'm just sick of not knowing it.
I love the fact that you're using the term install also.
Yes.
So nerdy.
That's how I'm
so
thinking
great.
about it. I'm just like, I'm annoyed this knowledge is just not here already. So like, let's go. It's actually kind of fun to do it, like to do the flashcards. Like it has this sort of like a little dopamine hits when you do remember something, or and you sort of like, ooh, like I remember that very easily. Therefore, let me mark this as like easy, which means I won't have to review this card for 4 days kind of thing. Like it lets you kind of to sell it how hard it was to recall something.
Yeah. Interesting. Are you using any kind of mnemonics or anything to
Yes, that works better than anything. Like, yeah. So basically for everybody, I try to come up with some sort of thing. So I've learned something weird, which is like the meaner the mnemonic, the better it works.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm trying to like pick up on people's like worst attribute and then like make a mnemonic based on that for their name. And like then it actually sticks. And I'm like, oh, I'm such a horrible person.
It just speaks to the depths of human nature.
Yeah. So hopefully, and this is like apparently like pretty well like known like memory technique is like, picking something like crazy or like outsized or like there's like all these like kind of the more you kind of make it an extreme idea, the better it works. But also like I'm just hoping it doesn't permanently bias me against these people. Just
make sure you never utter the mnemonic to the person.
I'm not going to tell people what their mnemonic is. It's going to stay in my brain.
That stays
separate,
deep private.
So Anki is actually an open source project, and it's free and very featureful, but it is so an open source project when it comes to like usability and design.
Yeah.
It is. I've had so many like it's almost like some of it is just like so frustrating.
What platform is it? Like, is it a web thing or is it
I think it's all the platforms. It's like there's a desktop app, there's a mobile app.
Oh, wow.
Like, which is, pretty cool. Like for that to exist for free is great.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for all that to be open source. Yeah.
Totally. Like, so props to them for doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, some of these things like that's a button. Okay, I guess that's a button. Like, why would you put this label here? Why can't I click this? There's a lot of that.
That reminded me of this thing I saw floating around on Twitter the other day. It was like an interface for curl or wget, one of those like command line thingies. It was like written in like VB6 or something, and like the interface
yes.
the interface is just horrific. And gets shared around as an example of like when developers build things without thinking about user experience or whatever. And like it's pretty amazing. The guy who created it has like a whole diatribe on the website about like, you may have seen people hating on this, and then he kind of goes through like how this has still provided a ton of value in the community. And I've never seen like a written rebuttal from someone whose interface gets criticized. And he was like, it has a lot of utility. And it's like, well, maybe that's true to a certain degree, but
yeah. You try to make a front end for a thing that's a command line tool that has hundreds of options.
Right.
Sounds hard.
Yeah.
So other stuff. Scaling issues appear to have been pretty resolved, it looks like.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that simple trick of run more app instances per box and have more boxes appears to be working well. We haven't run into the same symptoms that we were seeing before, so it seems like we fixed it, which is great. Also, coming back to that, I remember talking to you last week about the big company that wants to potentially sign up for Tuple and has these kind of crazy requirements and whatnot. So I went through their doc of like things that we would have to do. One really big one stood out, which is like SOC 2 certification.
Why?
It's because, CYA. So I responded to them and I said, so just to make sure it makes sense to keep sort of pushing forward on this, two things. One, there's basically no way we're going to do this. We're not going to get SOC 2 certified. We're a tiny company. We are focused on other things. We're not going to do this. Also, if you want us to agree to these other ones, we can probably agree to most of them, but we're looking at least 6 figures. The response from the person was, okay, cool. Yeah, let me check with IT and procurement and I'll get back to you. I was like pretty unfazed. And I was like, Jesus, wow. It's just a different world.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Enterprise sales is like a whole thing. It's basically my job right now. Like there's like 3 or 4 deals that I'm working on right now that are like all companies that we would all have heard of and like have hundreds to thousands of engineers and tons of money and all this. It's just like, it is a little bit hard to resist the siren call of, yeah, we could write you a $150,000 check. That's fine. That's in fact not even, a big deal. This is what I do all day, every day is write checks of this size.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you feel like that's strategically, like that's where the bulk of your revenue could eventually come from, is from doing higher tier enterprise deals? Like,
it's certainly possible. I mean, that seems to be what happens to a lot of companies like ours, right?
Yeah.
Is they start off and then they slowly march up market because they're like, wow, there's just so much money here.
Right.
So
where I wonder if like Zoom, Zoom, for example, like I suspect they're making most of their money off of higher tier enterprise deals and like the kind of plans that we know about that you can just go to a website and sign up for. That's probably mostly just marketing for them, right? Like getting people exposed to the product.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
You could find it out. That does kind of appear to be the case for us. Our biggest customer actually right now did just sign up for like a normal trial and started with, 3 people or something and then has just grown to hundreds. It could be like just this bottom up thing kind of works. I talked with Jason Cohen about this like a while back. And it happened where it was like they started with like a couple people and they added more and more. And then eventually got big enough that like the VP of engineering put it on his credit card. And then eventually got big enough that he was like, let me refer you to our procurement person. And that procurement person is like, hey, like we should do an annual deal. What's the discount if we buy this many seats, which was a ridiculous number. And I was like, wow, it's going right along the path that he said it would.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It is cool. It's nice that people like it.
Yeah.
They want to use it. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Brains, man. I've been having all the brain stuff, like my classic brain stuff. And I think it's like my sleep has been kind of messed up lately. I'm doing this weird, like wake up in the middle of the night thing again. It's so frustrating. It's like in my head, I'll think like, man, we're really not improving the product lately. And I'm like, no, we decided that December we're going to focus on stability. And we've been shipping fixes to like, stabilize it and fix crashes and all this stuff. Or like, oh, the product is just not that good. And it's like, no, people are saying it is good. And when they cancel, they say it's for things that are not the product and all this stuff. And it's just, and then like the arrival fallacy. It's like, oh man, once we hit this number, that's going to be cool. Or once I can buy this toy, or once I move into this apartment. It's like, man, all these things. It's just, I'm just so full of all these cognitive biases and wrongnesses. And it's like, damn, it's so frustrating. This thing needs some refactoring.
So I don't have much to report on this week, but one thing I jotted down that I just had written on a note was like combating arrival fallacy. It just seems like such a terrible thing. I was listening to one of Rob's Tiny Seed Tales podcast, recent episode with Craig, and they were talking about, they just were touching on arrival fallacy. And that concept is so depressing to me to think about, that like I may achieve things that I'm looking forward to in the future and then be completely unhappy when I get there.
Yeah.
And like,
oh, it's so true.
Like it just sounds like a never ending treadmill. And I think you can combat it. I mean, it's something that you can fight back against, but it's like, it still weighs on my mind of like, how do I make sure I prevent that from happening? And part of it is probably just really trying to enjoy the journey, right? Like enjoying the current state and not be always just looking forward to some eventual state where things will be good, right?
Totally. Yep. I need that tattooed on my face or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's fine to strive towards those like arrival points, right? Like that give you some goals and structure and whatnot. But yeah, that idea that like it's not going to make you happy is, freeing and good and also terrible and hard to remember.
Right. I mean, how do you think about goal setting in light of that? Like, I know there's people like Jason Fried who famously say, I never set goals. I don't set goals because it's really all about the journey for him. And like, do I wake up in the morning, work on interesting problems, and go to bed satisfied at night and repeat? Something sounds really attractive about that, but then I don't know. Part of me also thinks like the wise thing to do is to plan for the future, set goals, forecast things, like basically look ahead.
Yeah. I suspect he would agree with the statement that he does look ahead, I think. Like, my guess is that he's not never considering the future and using that to guide his current actions. I guess he wouldn't, write a thing down or say my goal for the quarter is X or whatever. I imagine he's not purely in the moment focused. But yeah, that sort of idea of like focus on enjoying the process and the habits that you want to cultivate and all that definitely resonates with me. And I could tell you from the other side of like achieving these milestones and goals and whatnot, like they don't move the needle on my happiness. They don't really change it. Like they do for like 12 minutes. Or like, like I tell my parents like, oh, we like just hit this milestone. They're like, wow, that's so cool. And like, yeah, it is super cool. And then it's like, I can't wait till we get to the one that's 50% higher than that one or whatever.
Right. No, I know. Brains are just so funny because they somehow convince us. I mean, you think about some tantalizing future state and it's like, then things will feel different. And it's like, no, things will not feel different. Crossing certain, milestones of revenue for the company or personal wealth will enable you to do different things for sure. But none of those things are the source of happiness, right? So
yeah. Yep. Damn, if only. Or maybe I just don't have quite enough.
Yeah.
maybe it's just I just haven't hit quite the right milestone, and eventually I'll get there.
That's the pitfall, right? It's believing that.
It's just we're just running old software. It's optimized for a world where like you kind of do need to always be looking for more food or whatever, because otherwise you might die and starve. But like,
yeah, the reward system is not. It doesn't align with
the config variables.
Capitalism and
set for contentment. There's no contentment threshold.
Yeah.
I think. How do I do this? I need to tweak my config variables.
Yeah, I think use an environment variable for that, like 12-factor. Is the brain a 12-factor app?
It certainly is. Yeah. Although I really could use a staging environment because there's some stuff I want to test, but I'm worried I'm going to mess up production.
We're like editing code files in production. That's what life is.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, do it live.
Doing it way too live. I need a sandbox.
Yeah. It's like those Stripe test keys. I want those for life.
Yes. Oh man, Stripe test keys. Yeah, that'd be great. I wish that Stripe test credit card number would just work in other forms.
4242424242.
I know what? I've never tested that, but I bet some people have messed that up, right? Like, like they accidentally like, oh, that returns success in test, therefore, it's fine.
Yep. Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, I have two things coming down the pike. One is I'm going to be on the. Can I say this? I think I can say this. I can't remember if I could say this. Anyway, I'm going to be on a podcast that's big-ish. And I'll double check if I can tell you what it is before I do it.
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
A big podcast.
That was a great little segment right there.
Riveting news.
And the other, this will also be great. I have a fun thing coming down the pike that I'm working on.
Lovely.
Yeah. So that's a great way to wrap up my segment.
Oh, man.
Two extremely vague things that are happening in the future.
Well, hopefully next week there's more details.
Hopefully so. What's going on with you?
I'm heads down right now on planning my presentation for Zeit's online conference. I think I touched on it last time. By the time this episode airs, this will have been aired and done already. But yeah, just thinking through like what can I say to an audience of front-end developers that would be interesting. And I think where I'm at right now is like I'm going to kind of tell some stories from my history as a developer and kind of center around the fact that I've been a pretty heavy skeptic of front-end centric development. And so how have I found myself now in a place where I'm building tools for this ecosystem and actually kind of coming to embrace it? And so kind of thinking through like, what are the things that I value in a tech stack and in a methodology around building software that's stable and not super risky and using boring technologies? And how do I make that align with kind of the flavor of the week kind of JavaScript ecosystem where there's a lot of change, a lot of churn, a lot of innovation. So I think I have some insights to share around that of how to maintain kind of a low risk tech stack and kind of a low risk environment, but also kind of embrace kind of the newer paradigms of front end development.
Nice. Yeah, so we were originally thinking of doing an AOP thing for that, but it was kind of feeling not quite right when we started actually sitting down and sketching it out.
Yeah, talking to the folks there, like they were like, oh, I think this would be like a really novel thing. No one else is doing like a live podcasty type presentation. But yeah, the more we got into it, it's like, I don't know. I think it's important to try to stay on point, relevant to this audience, and like, I don't know.
Yeah. And just having me rant about JavaScript for 40 minutes would be
I was like,
maybe not.
I was like, you guys don't know Ben. Ben hates the front end.
Back in life.
Yeah.
Back in for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someday I might investigate what JavaScript is all about.
And, honestly, it probably doesn't really matter that much especially in your current context. It's like,
yeah, yes. I think writing a lot of JavaScript is probably not in my future.
Probably not, as long as tuples on your radar. So,
yep. Man, did you see Andrew Wilkinson? I think is his name.
I know who he is, but what did he do?
He had this great Twitter thread about how he's like 10 years ago I was running a business and working 12-hour days and feeling incredibly stressed, and now I own the majority of 40 businesses and have minority stakes in 80 more, and I feel way less stressed and I make way fewer decisions because I've hired people and delegated tons and tons of things, and I make way fewer calls on things. And I was like, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of what Rob's doing now, like the Tiny Seed,
Gets
to kind of be an advisor and help people out, but not be the one
totally
like, making all the decisions.
Yeah. And I love this idea of like moving up the abstraction stack.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like that appeals to me a lot. And so to me, like as I think forward into the future, it's like maybe that's like the next kind of chapter of a thing I might want to do.
Yeah.
And so it appeals. I actually reached out to him. I DM'd him and said, hey, do you want to come on Art of Product and talk about this? And we'll see what he says.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
If you liked that, maybe tweet at him when you hear this.
Yeah.
And encourage him because he hasn't responded yet.
Yeah. No, I like that. I mean, it's just like taking the parts, the knowledge you have, the experience you have that's highest leverage, right? Has the potential for most impact, and just like doing more of that, and then not doing the stuff that's like repetitive or low value, which is what that kind of feels like you're optimizing for.
Yes, exactly.
So,
and it's just also interesting to me to not master, but to get a lot of experience in a level of working on a thing. Like, okay, run a business, and then it's like, well, you need a whole different set of skills to run a portfolio of businesses. And it's just, I always find that kind of thing really interesting. Like, what's it like to go up a level or even down a level, but just change where you're at in the stack, basically. So that could be a fun future life situation.
When you achieve that, Ben, then you will be happy.
Finally.
we solved it.
That's got to be what it is.
We solved it.
That's definitely what I'm missing.
Yep.
Once I have 40 businesses.
So just have like a terrible time grinding it out for the next 20 years. And then eventually you'll have 40 businesses and you'll be like, oh, I'm suddenly happy.
Finally, I will have arrived.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I just need 50% more everything and then I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Once I get to 50% more of what I got, then everything will be wonderful.
I'm going to have to introduce you to the concept of an asymptote after this podcast.
No thanks. Sounds boring.
Oh, man.
Put the ass in asymptote.
Yeah.
All right. Should we just wrap it here?
Yeah, I think let's wrap it.
All right. Notes of the show.
Notes for the show can be found at artofproductpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.